Thank you so much. I'm Jeandra from Rolling Out. Thank you for your time. This is a marvelous series. From the beginning, I was ready for a slow burn from the beginning to get to know the characters, know who they are, and fit into the equation. And it was action right from the beginning. And what I like that your characters have in common is that kind of proximity to illegality, but not all the way in, but close enough to recognize it. And I thought that both of your characters had that in common. For
Yeah.
you, Cash, congratulations. This is a terrific role for you. It is wonderful to witness your evolution. How has this experience stepping into this role been for you? Obviously, a talented performer, but now taking those talents to a whole nother level.
It's amazing. And I love challenges. So it applied a little pressure on me to get into the period of the 80s, something I didn't live. Um, to get into, me as an artist, like the glam and the outfits and even the slang and how things were back then. So it was a challenging situation that, taught me something. It taught me something. It made me channel an inner me that I didn't know was there. So I loved it. I loved it. I learned a lot about myself during this process too, because, coming from rapping, you chasing it. You always on a go. You're always moving around. But when you're acting, you actually have to sit down in one state for several months. So I got to get to know myself a little bit better, and I enjoyed it.
Steve, for you, I've been just a tremendous fan of your work. Quite a career, and this performance is no just another feather in the cap for you, another beautifully layered performance. What gets you up? You've done such a variety of roles, and this is another unique role compared to what you've done in the past. So how did this role appeal to you when it was first presented to you?
Well, it appealed to me out of the gate because I knew the story of BMF, right? And then this character is like you pointed out, he's part but not part. You know what I mean? So it allows him. He's a complicated character. So when you have a complicated character that has to deal with the fact that he has a son, has to deal with the fact that he's known these kids since he was young, has to deal with the fact that he understands the game and how to deal in and out of the game, and when he puts his real badge on, and then does cop, and then other times when he's playing cop, so he can get that money on the side, right? So for me, you've taken something that I view, and you can make him now into a person that everybody can identify with, right? You might not like him, you might not care, but they may think things but you will be able to identify with him because he's well-rounded. So there's always going to be something like that that's a part of you that he's going to pull out, So for me, it was that taste. He's not all wrong. He's definitely not all right. You know what I mean? So that always drives me. It always makes me want it. And to be perfectly honest, I've never seen him. Like I've never seen the dude on TV that is riding that line the way he's riding that line. And at some point, you're going to have to make a decision. But I just haven't seen it. So yeah, so that drove me. It was much like when I did the practice. I'd never seen a lawyer that actually looked like me on TV. I mean, he had to be, if he was me, he was pretty or something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it really wasn't me. You know what I mean? So I hadn't really seen that. So this held that sort of, I haven't really seen a guy that can be that way that you're going to dislike, and then who knows, maybe at some point you might even root for, so we'll see.
Cash, for you, for Monique, I found myself rooting for Monique because she's in a situation where she just wants to live her life, raise her daughter, and just be good. And she thinks she finds that with one person. She's trying to, other people reappear from her past to kind of take her off of that path of living. How would you describe her? Is it strength? Is it ingenuity? Is it just acceptance for her station in life? Like, how would you describe where she's at when we meet her?
I describe her as strong. I describe her as she wasn't too sure. She was unsure, especially with her love life. It's all she knew that she wanted to be a mom, and the best thing for her daughter. I think us as women, we always find ourselves falling in love with the wrong guy, with the wrong, you know, it's crazy because like the good guys, the guys that we want to have around our kids, the one that wouldn't get our kid kidnapped, the one that do have a stable job, we don't like. And she can't help but like what she likes. And that put her child in herself, you know, in jeopardy. So I feel like she's just showing a side of like us women and what we go through in real life and just how she get through it and just telling that story. So I feel like her character overall is just, she's just a Black woman. I can't say she's complicated because it's normal. I can't say that she got it all figured out because she don't. And I can't say that she's the perfect person because she's not. But in reality, she's a Black woman that's trying to figure it out.
And lastly, Steve, with Detective Bryant, it's clear he's in the gray. And, you know, there's all kind of degrees of gray.
Yes.
Where do you think in the spectrum he lies in the gray? Or does it constantly evolve? You know, we have good, we have bad, and then it's...
Yeah, I think it does evolve. I think he has a point where he won't go. So I think he's dark gray most of life, the middle gray area like that, sort of in there, but he doesn't cross over to, there's a line that he has. And I think that's the point, and I think that point is putting somebody in the ground. I think that's the point. You know, I think that is a line. Setting somebody up is not a line. He'll set up an innocent kid if it gets him to where he needs to be, right? But he'll give you the opportunity to make a decision on it. But I do feel that he's willing to cross that line. I don't think that he's willing to cross the one where now we putting bodies out as of yet. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you have that, and then when bodies start falling, now you have to make a decision. Are you going to go with that, or are you going to lay back? And me as an actor myself, and I think as a human being, you want as much as you can to be on that tightrope so you can go with it. I need you to think that I can do anything and have you off for this particular type of character. And then we'll see what happens year 2, 3, 4, see what happens then.
I can't wait. Thank you guys for your time. Phenomenal performances. I enjoyed both of you immensely. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.